the third variable which I like to say here is a class variable. Now, the variable which is defined below the class name, we name as a class variable. Now here, let us say the bank is having the IFSC code. IFSC code is a unique for all the bank branches, right? So here I'm declaring the IFSC, and IFSC is a unique code, and let us say it is starting with a 0 now. See, this class variable is written below the class name. So I'm writing the class variable here. Remember, class variable should be written below the class name only, not inside the method. And the benefit of writing the class variable is like you can share to all the methods. This is a variable you can share to all the variable, and not only that, you can also access using the class name now. See, object variable is accessible to only object, but class variable is available to the object as well as to the class now. That's the significance of writing the class variable. But again, we should not writing be all the class variable. Only those variable which you like to share to the all the methods, and it should be unique now. It's like a static variable in some other language, like in Java you have a static variable. Same way here there is a class variable now. Now how do we use it? I'll be using this class variable in the method constructor itself. So right now I did not write any constructor method, but there I'll be using it, and I will see like how you can use a class variable in your application development. So let me write this code once again with a constructor now. Now let me write a constructor method now. def, how do you write constructor method here? You can write constructor method by def double underscore in the beginning, then init, and first parameter is self. Now you can pass the argument to this class. Now what is this constructor method? Constructor method is something to initialize the class now. Now we would like to initialize the bank application class now. How to pass the parameter to the class? You can pass the parameter to the class by the constructor method. So here you can write the first parameter is, let's say, a name. Then you like to, let's say, add something more, like for the bank you may have branch now. What else you can have for the bank? You have branch, you may have city. So I'm just passing 2 to 3 parameters so that you understand, okay, what all parameter you can pass it to the constructor method itself. Now the other parameter, like how you write a function, here we're writing the method here and passing the parameter now. Again, remember the indentation. Every time I'm writing the code like colon, after that there's a tab, and it is under the, it is very neatly written. You can see the code is very much readable. That's what the way the Python code should be written. You have to be very much careful, like where to write what method, how it should be indented. So be careful while typing the Python script now. Now here I'm writing that this is to initialize triple costing. Triple costing, you can just say initialize bank application class. This is what our objective is. Let us test this before we even write detail about it. You can test it every line here. That's the beauty of Python here now. Every line you want to try it out, you can test it, and you don't require to worry about the bug in that case. Just write one line, test it, whether it is working. Any syntax error is there, you can just check it here. So initialization, initialize your bank app, or you can say initialize a bank app class, and we are going to test it now. So initialize, you can write Z or fine. So now let us test it. One thing is different in the constructor method and the other method which are there, that constructor method get called automatically. Now if I try to execute without passing any parameter, see what happened now. Let us test it. Let us see the error. Every time you modify the code, check the error and then try to debug the code so that you learn the debugging also. Don't try to write the entire code and then debug. That way you won't learn. So if you want to learn the Python, write 1 or 2 lines and then run it. And this Anaconda is one of the best tool to check each and every line. It's a very interactive tool. You can see like I'm using this notebook and I can write all the codes in a notebook itself and check it in one cell itself. Now here I'm just testing it before writing any parameter. See what happened, and let us see the error now. What error you see here? Type error. And in the type error, it says that init missing 3 required positional argument. So it is giving us a hint now that you need to pass the argument, that is a name, branch and city. See, Python is so interactive that it is telling you what to do also. You already pass the argument to the init, and you can see like here, I don't need to call the init method. Automatically when you create an object, this init method get called. So constructor method, whenever you are writing in your class, it is like overriding the existing constructor method. By default, every class is having the constructor method. You do not require to write also. But in case you want to override it, then yes. So let me know here, constructor method is not mandatory in the Python because it is already there even you don't write it. So default constructor method is a init, and what I did here is I just override that method. Now here what is expected? Already the given hint like you need to pass the argument, and that too to the class. So self, there's a name, branch and city. So I'll be passing now here name, HDFC Bank. Then what we are say is a branch. Let's say Kothur branch here. And then city, let's say Pune. Fine. Let us test it once again. See what happened. Okay, so what we can see that it is working fine. There's no error, but we are not able to see what the bank name is, what the branch name is, because we did not write any print statement now. So what I will do now this time, instead of printing in the init, I will print in the case of info method, because and then we'll see what happened. Okay, so now you know the differences between the object variable and class variable. Okay, what I will do here, I will write a print statement first, and then I will show the differences between the object variable and the local variable again. One more time, so you are going to test it now. So either use a single quote or double quote for printing statement. So let's say your name, so bank name is %s, then branch %s, then you have city %s. So why %s? Because I would like to pass a string argument. So if you want to pass the string argument, use a %s. If you like to pass the decimal number, for that we have a %d here. Let us use this. So here you are going to have a, okay, now I'm just passing the local variable like name, branch and city. Name, branch and city. Now these are the variable, name, branch and city. All three are local variable. We just pass it. Let us test it now. What happened in the what the result we have to test it now. Let us check the result now. Is saying bank name is HDFC Bank, branch is Kothur and city is Pune. Perfect. So you are getting the expected result now. No exception as of now. So there's no problem. So let us now, it is tested well now. So can I print now same thing in the info method? Let me copy this and print it. So can I share this here? Let us test it now. And let us see the error. What say that name branch is not defined. See here in the case of constructor method, the branch city, let me tell you here name, branch and city, all three are local variable. They are not object variable. And as a result, they are not available to any other method now. So if you want to make this variable name, branch and city to other method, you will require to define what? Object variable. As just now we discussed, like if you want to share certain attribute to other methods, you need to define object variable. I hope it is clear that when to define object variable, when to define a local variable, when to define global variable. All these are very, very important, because in the case of Python, we need to understand these differences between this type of variable only, because we don't use here the keyword like private, public, and protected. This kind of keyword we don't use it here. Like in the Java, everywhere you want to write, okay, this is a private data, this is a protected data, this is a, you know, like a public data, and if it is a public, then it is available, if not, not available. So this is like we need to tell everywhere. Here Python, you did not require to tell that this is a public property or this is a private property, nothing you require to say. Python understand that what the way you write your script, based on that interpreter, it understand it. So manually you don't require to say it. You just need to mention, okay, this is the data which is available to the class, this is the data available to the object, this is a specific type of data available to everyone. You need to write a script in a specific way now. So understand the syntax here. The way the syntax should be just by simply mentioning the object variable or class variable, or you can say making the data as a public data as a global variable. So let us make it now. How does it work? Next step we'll be understanding. So how to share now? Let us, I'm just deleting this first print statement, and now I'm declaring all the variable with the help of self now to share. So this will become the object variable. So name here, then we have a self dot branch, and then self dot city. Now we can just remove this line. It is not needed because I want to share to info method. I don't want to here. I just want to declare here, and here I would like to print now and see what happened. Again, info method name is not required now because already we have declared the name now. So this I can remove now. So these are all things which were there in the previous topic. I'm just removing any additional thing from here. So yeah, even I will remove this comment now. Location Pune, not needed now. Right. Again, the additional information I'm just removing to just avoid the confusion, because I don't want you to see so many things, and understand only the important point here, that how I have declared the object variable. Here these variables are object variable now, because I have declared with the help of self now. The first parameter self, and now you can see how does it work. Let us test it. Again, I'm removing this because here there will be error again. I have to just say sdfc.info. You don't require to pass any parameter. See the result. Okay, name is not defined. Where I'm using the name now. Okay, right. Remember now, I have declared self.name. Self.name is available, but name is not available now. Name is a local variable. So what should I do now here? Write a self.name. Then write a self.branch. And let me show you another line now, self.city here. So see how does it work? Great. Now it is giving the output. Bank name is HDFC Bank, branch is Kothur, city is Pune. So this is the way you can share your object variable to other method. I hope it is clear to you how to declare object variable. Now we will understand class variable, how to use a class variable. So three variable we already understood now, that is a local variable, object variable, as well as global variable. The fourth one is a class variable. How to use it? Now for every bank, what we want, that there should be unique code, and that unique code is a IFSC code right now. So how to declare unique code? Let me show it here. So I'm going to use here bank. With the bank class only I'll be modifying now. So because the class variable is available to the class name also, and you should be doing the modification using the class name only. So let us write a bank app dot, what is the name of the variable now? It's a IFSC. So call it IFSC plus equal to 1. Will it going to work? Let us test it. So bank app, I'm calling the IFSC. I'm saying that I'm incrementing now. what I want that for every bank, there should be unique IFSC code. And that's why what I'm doing here, this variable value, I would like to auto increment. As soon as I create an object, for every object, there should be an auto increment. Let us test it with a print statement also. Print IFSC code and percentage, let's say for the SDFC, I'll write or something like SDFC 001 or 00 and then percentage D, because this is a, now why I'm saying percentage D here, because this is a digit value, right? Decimal value. So print it by, okay, while accessing, you can access by the self also, and you can also access by the class name. So it's your choice now. Percentage bank app is a class name dot IFSC. So yes, it's your choice. So I'm using the class name itself, and let us test it once again. Any error? Let us check it. Great, no error at all. But what we see, there's only one Unicode IFSC right now. We like to test it for multiple classes, because once you have class design, now as I say, class is like a design part. Now once you have design, with the help of this design, you can create many more objects. So now let us create a multiple object. Let us have more branches now. Your class is ready. Let us create a multiple branches of the branches of your bank also. And that is possible by creating the multiple object. So let us apply this design to create a multiple branches now. Now here I'm going to create a multiple branches. I have now Kothul branch. I will have some other branches also. So SDFC 1, SDFC 2. So you have a, let's say, Warje branch. You have something like a, what is branch you can have? You may have something like a, in Pune itself I'm taking here, okay, PCMC branch or some other branch, you can look at it. And these are the branches. I am just saying the city name is same, the bank is same, the only changes is a branch. So just adding that. Okay, this is fine, it's just the name. You can decide. So let us test it once again. What happened? You can observe here that every bank is having unique IFSC code. And you can see the various branch now, Kothur, Warje, PCMC, and maybe you may have some other branches now. That's the significance of class. Class allows you to create various objects. You define once, and then there is a reusability here. So what is the significance of object-oriented programming? One thing is like it encapsulates the data and method together. Second thing is it has another properties which we'll be using also, that is a reusability, and that is where the topic come inheritance now. I hope you understood the basic here about the object-oriented programming. I just try to clear here. Again, I'm summarizing here for all of you guys, those who joined late, that what I started is writing the class bank name, and then I say like, you know, how the name should be. So we have to follow the naming convention. I say like use a camel case. Camel case means B is capital, A is capital in this case. Use the same naming convention for writing the class name. And then colon, that way the class block started. After that, you can write certain document about your class name. So you can say that this is a class name for the purposes of this is to develop the application. So bank application class now. After that, obviously I started writing the other method, like I wrote the info method first, and then now after that I wrote the init method also. Init method is for initializing the bank application class. Info is a method which is just like one of the object method. You can call it now by using the object itself. Now you can see we also discuss about the difference between the local variable, global variable, object variable, and now we are just finished. We have taken the example of class variable also. One more thing I like to tell you, like class variable is available to both. It is available to the object as well as to the class also. So let me show you the demonstration that with the help of this any object you take it, let's say SDFC2, and try to access IFSC now. and see what happened. We are declare this IFSC as a class variable. So can I access IFSC variable using the object? Answer is yes, you can. Okay, so remember, when you declare class variable is available to object as well as to the class. Can I access by the class name? Yes, why not? Write it. Let us test it now here. Right here, bank. This is the bank app, right? This is a class name, and then access it. So class variable you can access by class name as well as by the object name. Whereas object variable, if you try, let us try one more demonstration here, that can I access object variable which is declared as a name or city or something by the class name? Let us test it. Answer is no. It is giving you that bank app has no attribute name, whereas by object we already tested it is available. So object variable is available to only object, but class variable available to both, that is to object as well as to the class. And that's what the difference between the class variable and the object variable. I hope you guys, you must have understood the difference between the object variable and the class variable, as well as the difference between the local variable and the global variable. Now it's your choice, it's your design. Let me tell you, Python is not restricting you to use the special type of variable. That is your design. Python is giving you flexibility here, that you decide which variable you like to use as a class variable, which variable you should be designing, you'll be using as a object variable. So all this thing is your choice now.